it's very stressful doing that piloting thing. So yeah, it props to them for flipping back and forth. And we are underway, it seems. Excuse me, Nobly just getting a red rupee there out of Link's house, going to farm some bombs. This first little bit of the seed is always a little tricky, where the runner is trying to do a couple checks here just to give the pilot a chance to parse that spoiler log, which is non-trivial for sure.
Yeah, it's very difficult. There are several approaches. For example, you can also start with a hooligan to get some rupees. And we see one quite familiar strategy by Nobly farming some bombs. And as you said, it's very much important for the pilot to get some time, because it's such a tough job to start looking through the spoiler log.
Yeah, the stress is really front-loaded here for the pilot, whereas the stress is really back-loaded for the runner. As we see Nobly headed directly over into Saha's closet, while Solsky doing a tree pull, doing an uncle check just to buy Futon some time.
And as we can see, our tracker already put in the pendants and crystals, and we have Skullwoods, Thieves Town, and Eastern pendants, which is actually not very convenient.
No, Skullwoods and Thieves Town are terrible pendants to have. They're always right there. But yeah, there was a question in chat about what pilot means. So yeah, the pilots get the spoiler log for the seed. They know where everything is, and they get that as soon as the runners hit start on the title screen. And so the pilot is reading through the spoiler log, trying to create a route kind of in consultation with the runner at the same time, and while they're playing, so they're routing as they go. So it will be interesting to see. It's a tricky process, but it does tend to lead to a little bit of a closer races, faster races. I expect right around an hour for this race, and it is a delightful mode. One of my favorites.
And we already have pretty much divergence, because going to Eastern, there you go. I wanted to mention that in the very beginning you try to look for the flute or for the boots, because it's such a time save.
Yeah, and clearly Obscure, Nobly's pilot, was able to locate that flute right away. You know, it's tricky again in the early game, because as you can see, Solsky doing a lot of kind of basic early game stuff that you might see just to give Futon time to build a route. Obscure noticed that flute was over there, was able to send Nobly directly over there, and so that's going to be a nice little time save, because Solsky's going to have to double dip the CAC area for sure to come back and activate that flute, which is required. Misery Mire is a crystal today.
And what's also very challenging, you need to be very aware of your runner skill, because it takes time to pick up hard containers, to pick up swords if they're not on your way. So you have to really know how comfortable your runner is with his equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not going to be getting a bunch of random pieces of heart throughout, because generally you're not opening every chest in every location that you go to. So you're going to be skipping a lot of generally pieces of heart. You'll see some runners, you'll see runners pick up heart containers. You know, sometimes you get those pieces of heart, and it's really nice because you can route in your fourth piece of heart in like the validation chest, or the post Moldorm 2 chest. That's always fun, but we'll see if there are any shenanigans like that. We'll also see if we find the boots in this seed. Neither team, they were in randomizer room in game 1, which was just a moment ago. So as we see an early hammer and an early bow there in the CAC well.
And what's also pretty difficult for the pilot is to figure out how many keys do you really need for a particular dungeon. For example, when it comes to Pod, this is why Pod is not a very nice dungeon for the pilot, because you have to figure out how many keys do you need.
Yeah. Yep, classic key sanity problems. Pod and Turtle Rock being the main the main troublemakers in that department.
Of course, you want to avoid as much double dips as possible, but sometimes they're necessary.
So it looks like in Kakariko, that bow and the hammer were really the only things of too much use. You see Solsky grab a Skullwood small key from the floodgate chest there. Not necessary to finish Skullwoods, but a lot of times you'll see, I know that my pilot and I do this, where it's like early on, if there are keys on your route, just grab them because we don't know whether we're going to need them or not.
Maybe if there's an item in the front of Skullwoods and you don't want to save and quit there, so
right, exactly.
You can just continue to Mothula.
Yeah, and we saw both runners pick up the Ice Palace big key in Lost Woods. Again, that's not usually required to finish the dungeon. It's only required to get the Ice Palace big chest. But it's possible that, as we saw, a loaded mini Moldworm cave there. That's nuts. But grab those keys because they're right there. You don't want to have to double backtrack for them, and it can be, grab it because we don't know whether we're going to need it yet. So we'd rather grab it now and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right. Sometimes your pilot is like, grab that key. I'll figure out if we need it later on.
Yep. So we had a glove and a Thieves' Town small in Mini Molder and Cave, a Bombos medallion, which might be required. It's not required for entrance into Mire or TR. Those are the vanilla Ether and Quake respectively. But wow, a loaded back of escape too with a sword, silver arrows, and the hook shot. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, often spoiler lock races, you don't see the silvers at all. So they're in very, very good place for them. And of course, if you don't find a tempered sword, it's a Master Sword Silverless Ganon. It's a real pain.
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, I think the big story here is that flute was over in Pendant Eastern Palace, which Nobly and Obscure decided to book it right over there. And clearly it's going to be required. So Solsky and Futon clearly planning to put it off until they have to go over to the Pod Eastern area for something else. But right now, that is a big time advantage for Nobly and Obscure, as you see taking a death there from the Cabbages and bailing out of, got a flute back. That's right, because he hasn't recovered the old man for that small key to Ice Palace. Again, not required, but can be a little bit nice for routing in there. But this screen on Free Hearts is no joke. So no shame for taking that death here.
Yeah, and it will be interesting if we find we don't need to finish Eastern because, or maybe we need to. We don't know yet.
If it's Pet Seed, if something's on Saha, it's the green pendant there. Because maybe something's on Armos because we don't have the big key. So.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that PugTrio didn't pick up the flute if we don't need Eastern later.
Yeah, because that flute is a big time advantage early on. There's a Moon Pearl for PugTrio. And for Noble Foxes. So there's our Dark World access. Glove, Moon Pearl, Hammer. 10 minutes in.
And let's see if our runners go straight to Hera, because maybe there's something in the big chest already. I'll skip it for now.
Yeah, no keys for Hera. There's our Fire Rod. I was wondering whether Fire Rod was going to be in Ice Palace. They both picked up that Bombos medallion, but not today. So, yep, looks like both of our runners are headed over to Tower of Hera. No keys for Hera, but with the hook shot, we can skip the basement and the big chest and still complete it. Out of logic, but we can do it.
Yeah, so if they're heading straight to Hera, so I don't think there's an item in the basement or in the big chest.
Yeah, definitely not. Unless the one of those keys is in Hera, and but then it doesn't matter. So we're into our first crystal dungeon of the day here, Tower of Hera. We'll see where our runners head. The basement cage has the Cane of Samaria, which looks like Nobly and Solsky are going to come back for. We are going to need that.
It's also pretty nice to have it for Swamp and Ice Palace, for Diver Down and Icebreaker. It saves so much time.
Definitely. Makes me wonder if the mirror is up here or up here at the top of the dungeon.
Nobly had to take the death here.
Yeah, only on one heart. No boots. Need that heart for the bomb into the Hera pot there. As we see Solsky doing a little select buffer here.
Yeah, this is one of the glitches where there are many different setups. You can see the runners are placing the bomb in different places.
Yeah, each of the setups is double pixel perfect, but there are a bunch of them that you can use. So it's pretty easy glitch to learn. I personally prefer the one I do the one that Nobly was just doing, but plenty of people do the Solsky one as well. Let's see, our runners drop down. There are the boots. Now we can run fast.
Oh, that's a nice place. Very early boots. Because you often see spoiler races where you don't find the boots. In
fact, the previous race between these two teams that just concluded, the boots were in Rando Room, so we saw neither runner get those. As both runners try to do the bumper skip and fall down.
So actually the runners are pretty close now, but Nobly has a really advantage of the flute.
Yeah, that's and that's a sizable advantage. We'll see. That's going to be definitely something that we're going to need to keep an eye on when Solsky and Futon are going to make it over there to Pendant Eastern to grab that flute, which, while it is required, but it is also, of course, a big time save if you have it to fly around the world. So. Down goes Muldorm for both runners, just 3 bombs, but we do get our first crystal.
After 12 minutes, that's pretty quick.
That's spoiler for you. Love it.
Yeah, they're so quick races. Usually it's a sub 1 hour seed. And especially with those runners, even if we have a very bad item placement, I think it will be both sub 1 hour.
Yeah, so, definitely looking that way. What do we need for go mode at this point? We need the flippers, the ice rod, and the mirror, and that's it. There's Arcane of Samaria that Nobly just picked up. I like that, actually. You know what? Without the mirror, I like that that strat by Nobly of being able to save and quit out from the basement cage there. So both of our runners headed into the Dark World via the Hype Cave portal, headed right over to said Hype Cave. We'll see what's in here today.
And of course we have to add that they will need the mids.
Oh, I always forget the mitts. There they are. Our runners didn't forget the mitts. Yeah, we're gonna also need a bunch of keys as well. Obviously, you're gonna need a desert big. Gonna need a bunch of pod keys. Bunch of Mire big. Gonna need another TR small and the TR big. Need again its tower big key. Plenty of stuff.
Okay, so Nobly's heading to pod area right now with 0 small keys.
Looks like it. That's interesting. 0 small keys. Headed up to Pyramid. Catfish. Interesting.
Oh, did Nobly forget to pick up the Samaria?
No, he got it. It's just not on the tracker. maybe ate the input. We have the great Yoinker's wife watching our buttons there, so I'm sure she didn't miss it. Yeah, Nobly did go get the Canis Maria. There is our pod big key from the dig game.
So in pot there are actually 6 small keys, but maybe if there are no items, we only need 1 small key to finish the dungeon.
Yeah. Oh, there's the mirror on Catfish. Rude spot for that.
This could also make the routing a bit more easy for Nobly.
Yeah, absolutely. Mirror gives a lot of possibilities there. We see Solsky dipping into the front of Pendant Thieves Town. No big key. Picks up blue mail from chest number 1.
Oh, let's see if there's something on the graveyard ledge, because that would be pretty good routing. It seems like so.
Must be, yeah. Yeah, this is really nice routing from Nobly and Obscure. I missed what was over there in the 4th chest of Thieves Town.
I think there was a pot small.
It does appear to have been a pod small. There is the Desert Palace big key in Graveyard Ledge. Gonna need that. Desert Palace is full clearable by the Noble Foxes right now.
Okay, so let's see where Solsky's heading. Maybe to Skullwoods? Yeah, looks like it. Let's see what we have there. If they're going to Mothula, we will have a pet seed. Or the moth itself has an item for us.
Yeah, and you can see already Solsky has picked up a couple extra safeties, and that Skullwood small that Nobly and Solsky, that Nobly and Obscure didn't get. Has got a pod small there the swamp small. Definitely need that in this chest here, and another pod small in Skullwoods, but Nobly and is going to have to save and quit out of here, not having those Skullwoods smalls, and also only being on 3 hearts and green mail. Skullwoods can be very difficult.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to pick up some heart containers or another mail, because, like, as you said, 3 hearts and green mail, you will have a lot of much fun in the seat.
Oh, interesting. Solsky has set up a water walk to go grab the mirror from the north side of the Dark World. That's pretty easy to do from Skullwoods. You kind of dash over and bonk over the hole there that drops you down into Pinball Room to set it up, and then you have to do a little bit of not fancy movement, but movement to make sure that you keep it. You saw him walk down the stairs above the pond there. That lets you, if you have the extra speed on the stairs, that's how you know that the water walk is armed. Then just jump downwards off of the ledge into the water. You can water walk back over there, so he'll be able to get the mirror here, and then presumably hook shot back over to grab the desert big from a Graveyard Ledge. So a nice way to handle that. I think Nobly's was a little bit faster, but it could go either way. Big difference here so far as we head into the 20th minute is still that flute that Nobly and Obscure have, that they got out of Pendant Eastern, that Solsky and Futon have not been over there to grab it yet.
Yeah, so let's see where Nobly's heading. I think it will be the desert play. I don't think they'll dip Mire without the big key, unless the big key is there.
Yeah, probably not. Big key might also be here in desert. There's clearly something in the main part of Desert Palace because we're headed in there. No small key, but we can get the torch and the big key and the map chest.
So it seems that part is pretty empty. We're just going there with 2 small keys, right?
Yeah, it seems that way, unless there are some smalls there. There's another pod small in the desert big chest for Nobly. His first. And there are the flippers on Desert Ledge. And not finishing Desert right now. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe he wants to come back then when he's clearing Mire. But we are, item-wise, we are only the ice rod away from go mode, right?
Yeah, item-wise, yeah. Obviously, we still need a bunch of keys. But looks like Pod, Helma is the only thing. Because Solsky is headed right there. And Nobly's probably going over there to take that down as well. Solsky will also pick up that flute here, presumably after finishing up Eastern Palace and eliminating that difference. But Nobly's picked up a decent lead, I would say, having that flute early. We'll see how it holds up as we go.
And it's very convenient for our pilots that part is empty, because you don't have to care that much about the small keys. So actually only one is required. But of course the second one makes it a bit quicker.
Yeah, only having one key means that you've gotta go through the bow side here. So Solsky's gonna have a little bit of a faster clear of Pod compared to Nobly. So, which I don't think makes up for not having the flute, but certainly takes a big chunk of time off of that difference.
And Solsky's using the fire rod for the turtle room. Without the lamp, it's a bit difficult, but the fire rod does its job, so this is fine.
Yeah, completely in the dark, that turtle room, probably the hardest dark room in the game, I would say. But fire rod makes it very, very straightforward. Nobly's Helma fight come up here is going to be really hairy. Helma can be a difficult boss in NMG when you're on when you're on green mail and like 6 or 7 hearts. Nobly's got 3, has not picked up a single extra heart yet. So going to be a tricky fight here for Nobly as Solsky puts 1 silver arrow into Helma's forehead, takes him down for crystal number 2.
It was a pretty solid fight.
Oh, and there's the Eastern Big off of Pod. Interesting.
Yeah, so let's see if Eastern Palace has some more value. Because I think Nobly did a save and quit after the flute, right?
Yes. Yeah, Nobly saved and quit after the flute.
Maybe it's not that bad that PugTrio decided to pick up the flute later, because it's a single dip for the Eastern Pod area for them.
Yeah, if there's something else in here other than the this is not good. Nobly having some trouble in dark turtle rooms with the turtles here. Hitting the hammer, knocking them back over, unfortunately, can be very difficult to deal with. And now only on 1 heart for this green male Helma fight with no safety whatsoever, just to be in the bottle.
It's so risky and dangerous. Not even, as you said, a bottle or a cape.
Yep. And looks like there was something else in Eastern Palace, so that's really gonna be the I think there's the big key to Mire there. That makes Solsky and Futon's decision to skip that flute early on much more understandable. So that could be a pretty big swing, and I think that now Nobly having to double dip Pod in Eastern, or double dip Eastern Palace, I think is gonna give back a lot of that time that they gained from that early flute.
Yeah,
plus
I'm not
that menu.
Sure. Maybe it was even better to do it this way.
Yeah, I think it might have been. think it might have been. Nobly makes it through a very hairy Helma fight there.
But both runners did a real good job. It's so hard because Helma with those fireballs can be very dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. I love it when he in phase 2 of the fight, when he shoots the fireballs and swings his tail at the same time. That's very, very hairy.
Yeah, I think you only love her as a commentator, not as a player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Solsky is going back again to Village of Outcast. Let's see where he's heading. He's going to Graveyard Ledge. What was there again?
The Desert Big is here.
Right. Actually, it's very hard to tell right now who's ahead. I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close as well. Nobly has a couple more. Nobly's been into Desert already. So that is a little bit of a lead he's got that Solsky is going to do right now. But Nobly picking up a potion here just on 3 hearts. I think that's probably a good idea.
Do you think we'll ever find the lamp? Because with this equipment, no safeties, doing the Mire dark rooms are very challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna think that, you know, that blue is really helpful, but yeah, Solsky able to skip the pod small from Desert, having gotten a couple other ones instead, so saving that time, and is gonna pick up a Landmo kill, whereas Nobly's gonna have to come back for that when he does Misery Mire, and Nobly headed to Swamp Palace, looks like. Full clearable.
I'm still curious if nobody's going to pick up some hard containers, because I'm not sure if we will be doing fine all the seed of this.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get some at some point. Welcome to our Raiders from SpeedGaming Prime. My name is Tyler Salt. I'm here in the booth with Trix. Yoinker's wife is clicking the buttons for us on the trackers for Game 2 of this doubleheader between PugTrio and Noble Foxes. We've got Solsky being piloted by Futon in PugTrio, and Nobly being piloted by Obscure Lifeform for the Noble Foxes. PugTrio took Game 1 of this series. Andy beat out Obscure Lifeform, but just a couple minutes there. And as you can see, our runners are very, very close at this point. The story for a while was that the flute was over in Pendant Eastern, which Nobly dipped early to get. So had the flute a good 20 minutes that Solsky didn't have it. But Solsky was able to single dip the pod in Eastern area. So maybe made up a bit more of that time. And now has the Mire big key. That, I believe, was in the big chest of Eastern Palace, with the Eastern big key on Helmasaur King. So Solsky able to head into Misery Mire now.
Meanwhile, Nobly is going deep into Swamp, and we are skipping left side Swamp.
Skipping most of everything in Swamp here.
And if I'm not wrong, we are only a TR pick and a GT pick away from go mode. And of course,
we're gonna need one more TR small as well.
You're right. We can steal one from the pokey, but we need at least 3 small keys.
It's like nothing in Mire. We're going straight to Vidi. Nothing other than that heart container that Solsky picked up. Solsky's on Blue Mail. That was in Skull Woods. Yeah, that heart container is a risky one. Takes 3 hearts to open that chest. And you pick up 1. So...
Or Nobly has to be really careful with the Cream Ale. And the Master Sword Argus is not a very easy fight.
Yeah, Greenmail Master Sword and only 2 hearts. So that's one-hit KO mode for Nobly in here.
Okay, this was close.
Solsky doing a very nice Dark Mire clear.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing the old-fashioned way without Spooky Mire, but it's so hard to do it.
Very hard to do that in the dark, yeah. But nicely done there. Great Argus fight by Nobly, winning the GT Big Key off of Argus, as well as a 3rd Crystal. So we are 3 things away from go mode here. We need the Ice Rod, we need, and they're all related to Turtle Rock. We need the Ice Rod, we need the TR Big Key, and we need 1 more TR Small.
Solsky's doing Vitreous. Oh, that was also close. Well, oh, but with the silver shits, quite nice fight.
There's a Desert Small on Vidi.
And I hope for the runners they'll find Tempered Sword, especially for Nobly with again.
Yeah, right.
3 hearts, 3 hearts, and the Cream Ale. This actually. Oh, there you go.
Nobly,
4 hearts.
Nobly picks up his first heart container in the 32nd minute. What a gamer.
Okay, now the runners are switching places. Solsky's heading to Swamp, and Nobly is going to Mire. And then I think the next play for both runners will be Ice Palace. Okay, so let's see how Nobly is doing in Dark Mire with only 4 hearts.
Maybe the lamp's in here or something. Yeah, I'm not sure why Nobly and Obscure didn't do Landbow the first time they were here. They dipped into Desert to get a Pod Small, which they didn't actually need. Our runners are retracing each other's steps here to dungeons that they can completely go mode. Nobly going to have a bit of a tough time here potentially. This is Dark Mire on 4 hearts in Greenmail.
So let's see. Oh, is he setting up Spooky Mire?
Oh, he is trying for Spooky. Well done, gets it in 1. Has that potion out, is gonna have to burn it here.
Yeah, definitely. It hurts to use a blue potion only for 3 hearts.
Yeah, and you, in the dark, you're gonna take 2 damage there. Oh, beautiful Dark Spooky there by Nobly. Very impressive.
This is really crazy. Wow, it's really brave to do it with this equipment.
Yeah, only breaking the block ruins Spooky. You can pick it up fine. That was, I dare say, a beautiful Misery Mire by Nobly on 4 hearts in Greenmail. Very, very well done.
Yeah, I agree. This was really impressive. This equipment without a lamp and Spooky Mire.
Solsky is going to be a little bit ahead here coming out of these dungeons. Nobly has to go finish off Landmolus here in just a moment. And Solsky's, I think, Solsky's gonna be able to beat Argus by then. But at that point, we're gonna, both of our runners will have done exactly the same thing. So we're gonna have a good idea of who is in the lead here as soon as these boss fights are finished.
Yeah, I mean, Solsky's already fighting Argus, but with Master Sword it takes some time, and Lemo with Silas, of course. It's usually a 0 cycle. But I think Solsky has a small lead.
I would say so, a Landmolus-sized lead. All right, Solsky headed over towards Ice Palace. That's going to be both of our runners' next stop, presumably.
Well, I would say next step for Nobly is the potion shop.
Probably, yes. I wouldn't want to go into Ice Palace with no half magic, no potions, 4 hearts and green mail either. All right, Solsky's got about, I would say, a minute lead here. He went into Ice Palace at about 36-18, 36-19.
Yeah, and it seems that it paid out for the PugTrio, that they picked up the flute late.
Does seem to have. Nobly did take a costly death up on Death Mountain. Nobly can only afford a green potion here. Can't afford a blue.
Well, again, Nobly is still on 4 hearts. I think at this point, it doesn't make sense anymore to pick up any more hearts, because
yeah, right.
there will be, everything will be one hit.
Yeah. So here we go. Just under a minute lead, about 50 seconds for PugTrio here. Very clean icebreaker by Solsky. Well done.
That's what I like about those pilot locks. We've seen from the very beginning divergence between those runners, and they're, yeah, pretty much equal.
Yeah, they're pretty much equal, aside from the heart containers and the blue mail. That blue mail Solsky picked up in a Thieves Town dip. But yeah, very these pilot spoilers and spoiler in general is really, it really comes down to like whether, like, what safeties you are comfortable skipping, right? How little can you collect and still be confident that you're going to be able to beat the game safely? And we can see the balance between those two things very starkly in this race here, as we see Solsky picking up that Quake Medallion, which I forgot that we needed to get into Turtle Rock. But that is why we needed that Ice Palace Big Key.
It's a bit surprising that Nobly hit the switch and Solsky didn't, because actually we don't need to.
We don't need to, that's true.
And Solsky's going now down to Coldstare. I think he can at least take 1 hit, right?
Solsky can take a hit, yep.
And if you're wondering, nope, Nobly shouldn't take a hit.
No, probably not. Really nice fight, Master Sword fight there by Solsky.
Yeah, it was a very good one. And there's the big key to Swamp.
Oh,
we don't
rude.
need this one.
Well, unless the TR Big Key is there.
Oh my god, please not.
Probably not. If the TR Big Key had been there was nothing in Swamp. They would have done Swamp after this. So.
Let's see how Nobly's doing. Coldstare. That would be very costly.
And Solsky headed up to TR. The TR big and another TR small must be up here somewhere. Great cold stare fight there by Nobly.
This was very clean. And I like the idea that he took the cream potion because with the fire rod, which does gold so damage, it's way easier to do this.
Yep.
So actually we have on Dark Death Mountain or on Turtle Rock, the Turtle Rock big key, Turtle Rock small key, and the ice rod.
Yeah, all three of them must be up here. Nobly not going back for another potion at this point. As you may know, since this is spoiler, these streams are not on a delay, and the pilots and runners are allowed to stream stripe. You can watch your opponents, so it's possible that OLF and Nobly know exactly how far behind they are, and gonna have to skip that safety to try to make up a little bit more time.
Oh, and there's probably something in Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny.
Yeah, probably the Ice Rod or one of those keys that we need.
Or maybe Tempered.
Well, Tempered would be nice as well. There it is.
There you go.
All right, Solsky entering TR at 41:37. We'll see if Nobly skips that Tempered Sword.
I don't think so. I think it's a
I don't know.
time-safe
I wouldn't think so
climb.
either. Yeah, he's gonna grab it. Because I wouldn't think so either. But they've been crazy with the skip so far. So an Ice Rod, TR Big Key, and TR Small Key must all be in TR.
Oh,
Or a Mimic Cave. There's the TR Big.
So now just assume this is not a pilot seat. You don't go with 2 keys and no TR big key. You don't go to TR this time.
Yeah.
And without an ice rod.
Yeah. So Nobly is about 51 seconds behind here. So like a non-trivial lead for Solsky and Futon, but not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. But of course, Nobly is on a knife's edge here with 4 hearts, green mail, and no safeties to speak of.
Yeah, we still have no cape or burner. Not even the powder.
We'll see if Nobly gets my favorite key dash in the game. It doesn't come up very often, which is that you can key dash the chain jumps. So satisfying.
Oh, did Nobly just skip the bottle?
That's incredible. What a gamer.
Or maybe he's like, well, 4 hearts, I'm going to die anyway. Oh
there it
no,
is.
there's
Yep.
a death. Oh, that's very unfortunate.
You live on the edge, you die on the edge.
Well, it's actually pretty amazing that it happened that late. Okay, so I think there's the Ice Rod or the Turok Small Key Mimic Cave.
Nope.
Or the big chest, big
Not
chest.
Mimic Cave. Got to be the big chest here. There's our Ice Rod. Yeah, there's that chain chump key dash. Love to see it. And this is going to be our final TR small. Nope. Never mind. No, it's not.
Or is it on Laser Bridge? Oh, and
Yeah,
I
must be on
remember
Laser Bridge.
still no lamp.
Ooh, nice, nice using the crystal switch there to block the bunny beam. Good timing on that. So Solsky picking up a little bit more of a lead here due to Nobly's death there in Poke 1. And there is our last TR small. And Solsky's out. Got to avoid a death here on Trinex. 3 hearts.
Do you think Nobly will take the safety door? I mean, actually...
I mean, I would hope so.
But they definitely know that they're behind.
Yeah, they got to know that they're behind, and but Nobly has been an absolute madman here. So, man, I mean, I would, but I'm not anywhere near as good at this. I was in Nobly and Obscure's bracket in the spoiler pilot tournament, and like everybody did in that tournament, they wiped the floor with us. Yeah, this is another level, and I think it's not going to pay off, unfortunately, unless Solsky has an unfortunate death here as well. Totally possible.
Oh, very clean fight by Solsky.
Very, very clean Trinex fight there. Yeah, I agree with Walter in chat. At this point, Nobly is is hoping for a Solsky death on the climb or to Ganon, and needs to play clean here. Is basically in, like, not quite through GT, but is in one-hit KO mode for basically the rest of this race.
Basically, he is all the time.
Yeah.
Almost. And, of course, didn't open the safety door.
Of course not. Yeah, and you know, we're talking about Nobly's lack of save. Like 7 hearts in Blue Mail is no joke either for the Gauntlet. You have to be clean. It can be pretty, you know, it can be messy. If it gets messy at all with the RNG, that can be troublesome as well.
Does Solsky have some potions?
Solsky does have a red potion, at least. Picked up the bottle in Roller Room of TR.
Also very clean fight by Nobly.
All right, Solsky opened the GT big key door there at 48-13.
We have to say that both runners do an incredible job. That's like,
oh yeah,
super crazy, the execution.
Make sure you give them a follow. Both of them doing putting on a great show for you here today. Solsky's going to be ahead, I would guess, about somewhere between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would say 1.5 to 2, something like this.
A little bit more, because Nobly's going to have to pick up this this small key here from the pot. Did not pick up a Ganon Tower small key elsewhere. But yeah, Solsky's through the gauntlet before Nobly even goes up the stairs. This is Solsky's race to lose at this point. Solsky and Futon, I should say.
Yeah, we should mention the pilots as well, because they're doing also a very good job. We didn't do
or
any...
Have done, at least. Their job is over now, and now it's all the runners.
Yeah, you're right. Now it's only about stream sniping. The Noble Foxes really have to hope for that by the PugTrio.
Yeah, and just under 2 minutes, their difference between our runners at this point. So yeah, at this point, Nobly and Obscure need a death by Solsky here. Solsky not remembering that that jingle glitch has been patched out.
Oh, Nobly has to be careful.
Oh, was it unpatched out?
Well, to my knowledge, it's... Oh my god, is he hovering?
Oh boy. Well done there by Solsky.
Pretty cool decision, by the way, because you know you're ahead, you're still hovering.
Ah, okay. So jingle glitch is still fixed. It was the quadrant glitch fixed that broke something and had to be reinstantiated.
Oh, Solsky, his Aga 2 fight only hit a single. Oh, serious? No.
Down to just 2.5 hearts. This rude Aga 2 fight. There's a double.
Yeah, the pattern is awful.
Nice finish there.
Yeah, so Solsky has to die or fall at Ganon. Of course, we don't hope that.
We don't hope that, no. 2.5 hearts. It does have a red potion. Does have silver arrows. Could just take a death immediately. But not going to do that.
Oh, but he's already taking the potion.
Yeah, fair enough. Doesn't quite get the one cycle phase 1. There we go. Some dash strats. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well done. Down to 1 heart, though.
We have to be careful. No potion
Already
left,
used
right?
the potion. This is what... This is like still not going to be a potion there, no matter how many times you hit Y. All right, well, we got ourselves a race here. 1-hit KO for the rest of this Ganon fight there for Solsky. There was not much to save the potion for, except for this.
Oh, this is still pretty close.
I think that Solsky could still survive a death here and stay ahead.
Yeah, I agree, especially because the Aga 2 pattern is not very...
But here it is, setting up for a triple. 1, 2, and 3. Get your GGs in chat for Solsky and Futon taking game 2 of this match, of this doubleheader, over Nobly and Obscure of the Noble Foxes. 6 points to PugTrio, tying them with Noble Foxes in the Misery Mire division. That's handing Noble Foxes their first 2 losses of the season, for that matter. Solsky finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 54 minutes and 18 seconds.
Yeah, GG to Solsky and the PugTrio. Oh, Nobly has a hard time at Aga too, but of course I think they're aware that they've already lost, so concentration's almost a bit gone at this point.
Could be. Yeah, mad props to Nobly for playing this entire seed on very, very few safeties.
You mean no safeties, actually.
Well, that's true. One single heart container. He got a bottle. So, you know, that's something. We're joined by Solsky in the booth, but we're going to let Nobly and Obscure finish the Ganon fight that they just dropped into. But preemptive GG.
Let's see how Nobly does at his Ganon fight. It's actually pretty funny with this equipment. I think he only died once, and it was on Death Mountain, right?
He took that death in TR too to the first pokey.
Ah, you're right. You're right.
But Nobly through the dangerous part of the fight here.
Oh no, he misses the torch glitch.
That's Silvers. He's all right. There it is. Triple. GG's in chat for Nobly and Obscure Lifeform. Finishing up that race and gaming their hearts out. And they finish with an official time of 57 minutes and 7 seconds. GG's.
GG's.
And we are joined in the booth by Solsky and Futon. GG's, folks.
GG's.
Thanks.
Your thoughts on this seed? I know, and in particular, I guess my big question is: were you watching your competitors?
I think I pulled them up after we had fully finished our route this time, and was just watching over them after we had entered Ice Palace to just see how far ahead we were to make sure that we wouldn't take any dangerous risks.
Yeah, so I mean, they took enough dangerous risks for the rest of you, picking up a single heart container and a bottle somewhere. They're only safeties. But can you talk me through? I think I know the big difference here between y'all, aside from the safeties, was that they went and dipped Eastern Palace for the flute right away. Did you guys think about that, or were you always going to just put that off and loop it in when you went over to do pod?
Yeah, I gave it a quick look. I got a little worried about it when I had seen it, because that was the access to Death Mountain, because Lamp was locked behind Pearl, and I was just a little bit worried on if we needed it for sure, since it was going to be needed for Mire as well. So I was trying to worry about that. But as I scrolled through Eastern, I saw that the Mire Big was in the big chest for Eastern, so I started scrolling through and seeing if the flute was going to actually be needed for anything else. And when I determined it wasn't, I just let Solsky know that we can skip Eastern for as long as we could.
And we're joined by Nobly the Four. And Nobly, GG's, what a gamer run by you.
GG's, guys.
GG's. I was very impressed with the 4 health. I was scared for you.
I mean, I only have one regret this seed, though.
What is that?
Picking up the heart container in my sheds. It's the only regret I have.
I might not have told Solsky about a heart container in my shed. Whoops.
Yeah, also Obscure probably needs a link as well for the interview. I mean, I'm very happy, apart from the Death Mountain, this climb death. it told my brain now I'm super far behind and I'm stressed. And I didn't ask Obscure to check the restream to see how our position was. If I just kept my cool there, it could have been swinging either way, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. In one of our first, and actually the first race of the league for me and Andy in a co-op week, I died in Agate Tower, and I just couldn't come back from that mentally.
Yeah. I mean, if you read my game name, it says no hearts. GG.
Nice.
So that was your plan going in then, Nobly, to just skip every safety that you possibly could.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well then tell me why.
It's just there was no safeties really on the way. Like I didn't want to go into Thieves Town for the blue mail. Well, to be fair, Obscure didn't tell me about that blue mail, but so yeah. I mean, it's fine. And then we thought we had a Skullwoods key, and then we didn't have a Skullwoods key, and that was like, oh, well.
I guess we're not getting that either. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something on the. What was it called? It was
In pinball room? I think it was was that a GT small there?
That was a pod small. that we
Pod
were
small.
using.
Yeah, that
So-
was, yeah, that was a mistake as well.
That was another difference there where Noble, you guys had to go through the bow locked side there, and was that because you guys missed that small key in Skullwoods?
No, we thought for some reason we thought that was the map chests.
Ah, yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, just go both sides and pick up that chest," and I was like, "Okay." But then again, we only had one key. I don't know where the other ones potentially were. There was one in
And
Destiny.
we dipped Thieves Town for our second one as well, which is why we wanted the armor.
Ah.
Yeah, and then Noble, you guys got the pod small, I think, in front of desert, I believe.
Yeah, my idea there was like, okay, we can do that then as backup strat. Like, okay, I can go there, get my flippers, and just flute away instead of rush all the way up to the boss. Just beat the boss with Mire, and then we can do swamp. And I was like, is there anything on the way though? Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way. Yeah. It ended up being like that, but it's fine. I was like, do I pick up the left side swamp for 3 hearts? Nah, screw it, I'm gaming. We'll go Mire. Noise.
Yeah, but it still was pretty impressive, especially with those with this equipment, doing also the spooky mire. That was a really great job.
Yeah, I mean, once you know spooky, you can't go without, right? That's the deal.
That's what they say. All right, so 2 wins today for PugTrio. GG's to you guys. Now tying Noble Foxes atop the Misery Mire division with 18 points. Making sure that's correct. Yes, that is correct. So good job by PugTrio today, taking those 6 points. Who all for you guys is running next week in Cross Keys week?
In Cross Keys, it will be me and Hayfield Bay.
And
We
Solskin
haven't
Puta?
decided ours yet. I
Ah,
don't
there you go.
actually. We only need one more race for me and Solsky each, but I'm sure we'll probably find space for us to go through that. We haven't decided it, but I'm sure we'll
That's gonna
probably
be a soft
run
arm
like
wrestle. It's gonna be a soft arm
Yeah.
wrestle between us because as much as I love
Yeah.
playing cross keys, I kind of suck at it. So
yeah. I might be able to go for it. I really enjoy cross keys. So.
yeah, that's what I mean. Nandy, I know, loves it, and it just depends on if he wants the week off or not. Doesn't matter to me. I'll run it, but yeah. Competent team, right? Like really good, strong overall team. So all 3 of us can do it, and we'll just kind of figure things out. And again, arm wrestle for who gets it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, this week was fun. Oh, wow. 50 collection rate. GG's.
So later on today here on which Speed Game? SpeedGaming 3. Later on today, we've got another Invitational League match. We've got Don't Forget to Track Us versus 2 Pearl 2 Furious in week 4 here. That is being run by Ike here and OAC28. There are also a couple races over on the league channels, which you can check out as well. But Trix, any last questions for our runners, our pilots? Anything else from you?
No questions, but I just want to thank them for racing. It was pretty impressive, very close race, very nice to watch. Very, very good job by the pilots. No double dips required. So I think all 4 of you did a very good job, and it was a real nice watch. Thanks to all of you. And of course, Tyler Salt, thank you for the nice commentary with you.
Always appreciate talking with you, Trix. Very good. So GG's to Solsky and Futon and Nobly and Obscure. Thanks for putting on this double header today. Make sure you give them a follow. Thanks again to Yoinker's wife, who was our tracker here today, hitting the buttons behind the scenes. We appreciate her as always. And thank you to all of you in chat for watching this double header. Yeah, a good time. My name is Tyler Salt. Thanks all very much for watching, and we will see you around. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.